About order blocks, guys. We reviewed this last night in our Zoom, and I didn't record it because usually they run a little long, so I'm just going to put together a quick video. It sort of illustrates what we're talking about and why they are important to understand. So we're on EURUSD on the 1 hour, okay? And, we have like a little pullback here of the move, right? And then a huge run, okay? This happened during Asian session, right? So we understand that both the European and the United States markets are closed. There's not a whole lot of reason for price to inflate on the euro this much while their financial markets are closed and everyone is sleeping, right? So what we're looking at here is an order block. So we're on the 1 hour timeline, okay? And these red lines here are just sort of, I used for a channel before, but they go way back months. Leave the lines on your charts, guys. If you have like some key levels from the past marked down, leave those lines up and just, if anything, you can always change the colors, add in text, I like to have a spreadsheet that's basically my quote-unquote trading journal, and EURUSD has its own page or tab, right? And then all the pairs have tabs, and I kind of keep note, and I can go back and look and say, okay, well, this is what happened at this price or whatever. So basically, this bottom one here was the final TP of a trade call I put out. It was for a sell. A couple reasons for the sell. Of course, we can tell by price action that we are at a level that has rejected before, so that gives us a heads up. Move comes down. We have a classic liquidity grab, right? Move comes down, drops, okay? Anyone that's thinking buy right here, they're cleared out, they're stopped out, and then the very next one runs up, kills out any of the sells. When you see these things happen, guys, usually the buy, the sell down, then the buy up. If you have the bias for the sell, you take the sell here every time. They're pretty much just removing a bunch of orders from the market and then getting a better position for themselves. So trade with the banks, guys. Trade against retail. Really important. Okay, so let's talk about our order block. Here we are. So this right here is a trap, right? Why do we say that? Okay, well, we know that last time it came up to this level, okay, it rejected, came down, gave us the downward move, right? So what's happening here is, you could say, okay, well, this is being turned into a support right here, and instead of it dropping, it ran up. This move right here is your order, and this is your block, okay? How do we determine that? So this is being utilized to trap sellers, okay? So anyone who caught this buy right here, right, getting stopped out by this. Now we're going to try and take people that are trying to sell here, all right, because there is, potential break in structure, pullback, but it looks like it's going to sell down because we have previous history saying that it may. And then whenever you see a move like this that's just so massive, it literally engulfs, within one candle, two candles, it engulfs the entire downward move, right? This massive double move, okay? This is the order. This is the block, okay? So the markets are trapping sellers here, right? And then this comes in and stops them all out, all right? Now, what we're pretty much looking at here is the markets, collecting orders and then blocking them. That's why it's called an order block, right? So more often than not, and I'm not saying 60%, I'm saying like 80, 90% of the time, price will come back down to the order block. And the reason being is because this move right here is being held in drawdown by those who create it, all right? Now, catching this, understanding that this is an order block and catching this, really hard to do, guys. Like, you can base it off of, okay, well, we have support here, but like, look, it broke structure. Like, this is a really difficult buy to grab. When you see an order block close, however, okay, so we block it out and we're closed up here. This full candle like that, you're in a safe buy afterwards, 9 out of 10 times. Although it might not look like it always, but you are. and it pushes it up to previous price that we talked about, right? And you're taking your TP at the top of that to be safe, or 80% of that to be safe, which would be the tip, right? So there is a bunch of orders left by the institutions right here. They take that into this total drawdown here, okay? They wipe out more orders right here, right before the move happens, okay? Breakout, retest, breakdown, straight back down to the order block to mitigate that loss, okay? So they don't lose here. Retail loses here, but the banks will hold through that because they have the ability to. They can, have millions of dollars in drawdown and be pretty much fine. So this is a bullish order block. Bullish as in, the block is bullish. But 9 out of 10 times, guys, what you're going to see is, it come back down. And because a lot of people understand this maneuver, you're going to see this too. You will see a lot of liquidity grabs. Just grabs, liquidity or supply and demand or whatever, orders below, orders above, stopping everyone out of that move. And then boom, the move happens. So we took this sell. We got stopped out, unfortunately, by the liquidity grab. And then got back in for a better position and took it all the way down for, 100 and something pips, which was great. But that's pretty much how order blocks work. We're on the 1 hour. You can find them on all time frames. As you guys probably don't know if you've been watching my channel or how I trade, I like 4 hour. And you can really see on the 4 hour how aggressive of an order block it is. Right? You see a 4 hour candle like that, you're buying. That's a huge bullish move. And of course it's a pullback of that move, right, on the way up. People are taking profits and all that, and then they try to drive price down further to collect more sells, and then they throw the block. All right. Now for another one. All right. So here's the next one, right? Clearly have a channel pattern right here, right? Coming up. Move comes down, okay? Rejects, pushes up. We all think, okay, it's going to continue into this trend right here, right? This basically channel pattern right here, and then no, huge order block. This is on GBP JPY. On the 1 hour, comes down and blocks the whole order, okay? Comes down further, and then look, it's coming back up. I was telling some of the people today I'm waiting for GJ to hit 157.4 in order to be looking for sells again. Why is that? Because I want to see this order block mitigated. I want to see that losing trade for the banks turn into a either break even or profitable trade for them before I can take a sell down. So I'm going to wait and see what it does around 157.4. Just right in here. Maybe 157.5 is probably a little better. And let's see what sort of action we have in here. If it doesn't rally above, right, we get caught like right here, almost exactly, and we get some like little wick rejections, I'm going to take a sell on GJ. All right, a couple other things to really understand as well when it comes to these, okay? It works best on pairs. I've had people ask me about cryptos and does it work with cryptos? I would not suggest trying to trade order blocks on any cryptos. Obviously they exist, like it happens, but it's never guaranteed that price is going to come back down to that certain point, obviously, because if people start throwing tons and tons of money in cryptos, we'll see it continue to rise. The other one as well is the NASDAQ or any indices, honestly. As you guys can all see, I trade a lot of NASDAQ. Traded it today, caught that sell. I made $580 this morning. So you'll find them here too, constantly. Like a lot of the times, like this right here is an order block. Okay, price comes down, gets blocked out. Right, boom. This move right here. That's it. Okay, comes up, rejects again, comes back down, mitigates that block. But don't count on it. All right, I just want to tell you guys, like, do not expect these to work on indices or cryptos. However, if you do see them on pairs more often than not, you know, you're going to see it come back down and mitigate. It will wick. Another cool thing to kind of understand as well. I know there's a lot of different sort of ways people trade fibs, and that's cool. Everyone has their own sort of like, you know, strategy when it comes to that. I usually try and target the golden zone as much as I can. As you can see, okay, our order block came down to the 61. Obviously, this is after the move. We can come back and look at that, right? But even if you were to say use this right here, right, and you fib retraced up, okay, it'd be pretty damn similar. What we're talking like a little bit lower right here, right? So same idea, okay? Comes down into our golden zone here, comes back up, right? So I already know that with the fib retracement, you know, it's a good chance it's going to come back down to our 50. And it just so happened that the 50 was the order block as well, pretty much. So that was what gave me my, you know, the more important confirmations on this trade, right? So price action tells us that there's a rejection up top, therefore we might have a drop. There's also a previous order block that needs to be mitigated. It exists within our fib retracement golden zone, and boom, there you go, guys. Like, that's a simple strategy. Test it, back test it. You know, if you're trading on an account size that's decent enough, just throw a 0.01 on it and try and, you know, figure those all out. Next move for Euro USD, if you guys see this in time, is we're currently playing around with that range in there. You know, I want to see how the day closes, to be honest with you, with this 4-hour wick. If it comes back down and we have another rejection here, might be looking in for another sell. Come back down to our previous zone. This is why these key price levels are so important, right? So there's your 4-hour intraday trade. You know, that'd be a nice little scalp there if we were to take it from a perfect spot for 90 pips. Incredible. And then my long-term analysis has been saying that we're going to see Euro come way, way down to this previous level here. So that's where I'm at long-term bias-wise. Say we grab that point right there. And we've been in some sells from the top that I've taken profits on. Shoot, I mean, I called the sell back in October, right here. Yeah. So say we are to take this trade and run it all the way down. You know, like, obviously it's going to take us, it takes months to do this, but it could be a 600 pip move overall. It's pretty good. So that's order blocks, guys. Try to add that into the list of confirmations that you have. There are bearish and bullish order blocks, like I showed you on GJ. That was a bearish one. This one's bullish. And that's pretty much it, boys and girls. So if you have questions, drop a comment. Take a look at the info I have in there too. There's a link to our personal Telegram. It's a public channel. It's a trading channel for people of all different shapes, sizes, styles. You know, people from all over the world actually are in there. All different skill levels too, and it's a lot of fun. We're all kind of learning from each other. I myself, even once in a while, am learning stuff in there too, which is great. So appreciate it, guys. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Thanks again.